Ciao guys, in today's video we'll be diving into the intriguing tale of the Bounty, a famous ship that has captured the imagination of peoples for centuries. The Bounty was a British naval vessel that set sail in 1787 on a mission to transport breadfruit from Tahiti to the West Indies. However, the ship never made it to its final destination as a mutiny broke up on board, led by the charismatic Fletcher Christian. If you're interested in learning more about the Bounty history and its enduring legacy, stick to the end of the video. To ensure that you never miss video like this, be sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. The Bounty was originally built in 1782 as a merchant ship called Pythia, before being purchased by the British Navy and converted into a naval vessel. The mission of the Bounty's infamous voyage was to collect breadfruit plants from Tahiti and transport them to the British colony in the West Indies, where they were intended to serve as a cheap source of food for slaves. The mutiny on the Bounty was led by Fletcher Christian, who was the ship's master's mate, or second in command. After the mutiny, Christian and a group of mutineers took control of the Bounty and set Captain William Blake and some loyal crew members adrift in a small boat. Blake and his loyal crew members managed to survive the ordeal and eventually made it back to England, where Blake was hailed as a hero. The mutineers who remained on the Bounty eventually settled on Pitcairn Island, where they burned and sank the ship in order to avoid detection by the British Navy. The wreck of the Bounty was rediscovered in 1957 by an American adventurer named Lewis Martin, who conducted an archaeological survey of the site. The very first thing you will notice about the Amati kit, as for other kit manufacturers, is that there are no hull copper plates. So let's not waste time and see what's inside the Bounty kit by Amati Models. All wrapped together we find the flags, the manual, the wood for the keel, the bulkheads, the stand and other details. Attached on a cardboard paper there is the transom, the anchors and the black thread. There are 3 plastic trays with various details, pretty heavy I must say. We find a lot of wooden strips for the hull and the deck planking, the masts and other minor details. The sails are already made. Let me unwrap this so that we can see what's inside. The flag's quality is great. The sheet might be a little too thick to give a nice shape though. The 2 plans tables and the instruction manual are in black and white. Details and the cutwater, which is just one piece, are made out of walnut wood. The keel measures approximately 45 centimeters. The thickness of the bulkhead is 5 millimeters approximately. Let's talk about the details first. Some of them are made out of metal, but they should be made of wood, like the big lifeboat. The figurehead detail is impressive. Personally, I would never use the ready-made sails. Actually, for this particular build, I would not install sails at all. The instruction looks clear to understand, but they might be too general for a beginner, as they do not go into details, especially for the rigging part. So the very first thing you might have noticed about the Amati kit is that there are no copper plates for the hull. It's possible that the Bounty had its hull covered with copper plates when it was originally built as a merchant ship in 1782 with the name Bithia, but there is no definitive evidence of this. The copper plating helped protect the hull of the ship from worms and barnacles, which could eat away the wood and weaken the whole structure of the ship. In addition to protecting the hull, the copper plating was useful to increase the speed of the ship by reducing the friction between the water and the hull. This was particularly important for naval vessels like the Bounty, which were often engaged in long-distance voyage and needed to be as fast and reliable as possible. So when she was bought by the Admiralty 5 years later to undertake the breadfruit expedition, a refitting included covering the hull with copper plates. So for this video I would like to make things a little bit different and give you the point of view of two groups of people. The one that has no or small experience with scratch building and it is looking for a second or third build. And I'm going to call them intermediate builders. And the group of people which has a discrete experience with scratch building and I'm going to call them advanced builders. So if you are an intermediate builder, the very first thing you should worry about is the hull planking. You will have steep curvatures at the bow level, so you'll need to be very careful if you want to have nice and smooth lines. You can click up here to watch a useful and easy technique on how to plank the hull of basically any model ship. In any case, you will find some useful links in the description below. If you are an advanced model builder and have also some machinery, then you won't have to worry about planking, but you will deal with whether or not making some parts from scratch. Personally, I would replace all the metal details which were supposed to be made out of wood. And I would also consider making the copper plating of the hull. Amati has some very good copper plates that you can find in the HMS Pegasus kit that I think they could have been hatted also for this model as well. And maybe if you can contact them when you are going to buy this kit, maybe you can ask them to include those plates in your package if you are going to buy this model kit. If you, like me, can also make your own ropes, I would definitely do them from scratch. So for this group of people, given all that, do you think it's still worth buying the kit? Or would you just go with the plans? I would love to hear your opinion on that. To conclude, I think it would be great if manufacturers of model kits would give you the opportunity to choose your own parts of the kit. For example, I would love to order a model kit with just the pre-cut keel and bulkheads and maybe the cloth for the sails, the flags, the wooden strips and dowels, and that's it, for clearly a lower price. Basically, I would make it work like the configurator you see for car manufacturers or motorbike manufacturers. If you like this video, please subscribe so you won't miss my new issues. I'll leave you a link to another of my video that you can find somewhere here or in the description below. Leave a like and I'll see you in the next video.